welcome back to Daily Diabetics. My name is Noelle, and I am going to check my blood sugar for you. Sorry if I tossed my hair a lot. It's driving me mad. So, we're checking the blood glucose. So today's theme is pumper pens, and if any of you have me on Instagram, you know that my insurance quit paying for my pump supplies, but Medtronic is willing to let me make payments, $145. I went up 1 point since the last video I just pre-filmed. So you know that obviously my pump had, or my supplies weren't being paid for by my insurance, or at least a lot of them, and so Medtronic is willing to let me make payments on my supplies. And then, yeah, I will be switching to a medical supply company that will be helping me. And yeah, so this week's theme is, wait for it. So the question at hand is insulin pumps versus multiple daily injections, or MDIs. I've done both. Obviously, kind of have to live, but currently I am on these as of today. I think it's the 19th, and I have been off my pump since the 2nd of August, and whatnot. But we are just going to kind of go over the pros and cons of the insulin pump and pens, and I believe starting tomorrow I'm going to talk to my nurse and get back on my insulin pump, because I have the supplies, and I feel like, yeah, I'll get into that with the pros and the cons of each of these bad boys. My pump, well, it's only one pump. My pump and my meter, Bonnie and Clyde, or Clyde and Bonnie. No, this is Bonnie, and this is Clyde. And yeah, so let's get into the pros and cons of insulin pumps and why I chose my insulin pump. So I chose Medtronic because, one, that's what I was prescribed when I was first diagnosed. They think they made me wait like a year and a half to get a pump and get used to the whole diabetes thing, just because, well, sorry, that's what my doctor used. She was a type 1, so that's why I chose that insulin pump originally, because I had the Paradigm, like that old pink one I showed you way back in the beginning when we started this. So I went off my pump on and off throughout the years. I tried one other brand. It was the Accu-Check Spirit Combo, and I hated that pump. It was stupid. It was awful. Nothing against the company. The pump just did not work for me. The sites always leaked right after I changed them. You had to manually insert them. Wasn't really my thing. So I took myself off that pump, sent it back. I was like, I hate it. Get it out of my life. So I took myself off of it, sent it back, went on shots, multiple dailies with syringe and vial for a really long time. My insurance said it was a luxury to have pens when I was on that insurance. So I moved back to my hometown, and they were like, do you want a pump? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, what kind? And I was like, let's go Medtronic. I had thought about the Omnipod. I just don't care for how bulky it is, especially when I do my pinup stuff. That's just personal preference. I guess for me that is what it is. I didn't really think about T-Slim at the time. I've been recently thinking about Omnipod and T-Slim. I've just been kind of like pump shopping and looking around, whatever. But I'm going to stick with my Medtronic because I still have warranty for a long time. So that's why I chose that pump, and it was like the new biggest, baddest thing when I went back on the pump. As many of you know, I use my Pink Mios and the Reservoir. So pros and cons of insulin pumps. I don't know if anyone really saw my Instagram as of yesterday, but I did a poll with pros and cons and like, what do you think I should do, suggestions, because I like to hear from you guys. I'll link my Instagram somewhere down here, not link it, but what it is, and follow me, and you guys can participate in my polls and give me suggestions and help me on my bad diabetes day, because we all have them, no matter how much we want to admit it or not. So, pros of the insulin pump: you get constant insulin. It helps you control your blood sugar. It's just always there. I drink a lot of coffee throughout the day, and it's a pain in the butt to have to bolus manually all the time when I want coffee, when I can just be like, I need 15 carbs for this much creamer and crap that I put in it. So, the only cons, and I don't remember everything I put in my poll and post yesterday. The only cons I can really think of to the insulin pump is that these can kink and they cannot work, and then you're kind of SOL. So that's how it goes. I don't really have a lot of issues with the pump and whatnot. And then I have pens. I like these because you're ensuring you're getting insulin every time. I feel like I absorb a little bit better with a multiple daily, but then again, I don't. I feel like my blood sugars have definitely skyrocketed and raised a lot since I went back on multiple dailies, so I definitely think I'm going back on my pump. That is the choice that I made. So, pump versus pens. It's all what works for you guys. I like both for different reasons. I like not being connected to something 24/7, but I like the convenience of, being like, oh, I'm going to have a little snack. Whereas this is like, okay, now I have to shoot up and all that. It's all what works for you. I love both for different reasons. I don't remember all my pros and cons. I'm sorry. I've had a lot going on. So I highly recommend pumps. I highly recommend pens, syringe, and vial. As long as you're keeping yourself alive and you're doing the best you can, that's what matters. So, it's, like I said for the 12th time today, it's all what works for you, and you need to do what's going to be best for you. So, that's all I have to say. Alright, y'all. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see y'all next Sunday, and, yeah. Alright, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good week. Bye.